and welcome, and hello and welcome to anybody on TikTok who may be viewing this. I'm doing a double live stream again today, just because it's been a while since I've done that. And let's see if I can get this particular camera positioned. I have a new internet connection for those watching on YouTube. So hopefully this works well for the live stream. I've been doing it on my phone for a long time. Now I have TikTok on my phone. So love you. Great to see you. We got a couple people on here. We're going to be digging into the energies of this solar eclipse in Libra. We're going to be talking about the second moon as well, the asteroid who's been pulled into Earth's orbit for the next month or so. That is a big energy, and Rising Phoenix Aurora did a really great job talking about the energies of that asteroid or second moon as the destroyer of the artificial. And so she was channeling it as Durga, which in this case is a representation of Divine Mother in all of her different emanations coming through to pull out the artificial essentially and ensure that we remain on our highest timeline as we are moving forward toward the election time in the United States and all the stuff that's happening. I am, for everyone on YouTube and also TikTok, if you don't follow me on Rumble, I am getting ready to start releasing some videos on Rumble. It's unfortunately TikTok, it's a little bit better than YouTube, but there's a lot of censorship on YouTube, and it's really difficult to talk openly about the things that need to be talked about right now. So if I am not, I'm working on getting all my live streaming. You have to have a bunch of different equipment and streaming systems to be able to live stream on Rumble. It's not as easy as clicking a button like it is on YouTube. And as those of you who follow this channel know, I'm not exactly the most tech savvy person out there. So I was procrastinating a little bit with that. And now I'm getting more involved and actually taking the actions necessary to figure out the live streaming on Rumble. Also, though, I am going to be posting videos probably more frequently there leading up to the next month or two. Just because of the importance of the information that needs to be shared and the inability to share it freely on certain platforms. Like, it's watching every word that I say and having to edit my speech and dance around topics. It's not exactly going to get us where we need to be for the information that we need to be discussing as we're moving through this next month or so. But today we're going to be talking about the solar eclipse. This is really powerful. I don't know how you guys, let me know how you're feeling this energy, what you've been noticing. I definitely felt heavy when I woke up this morning. And so I had to go through a whole clearing routine, which I do anyway before I come on and do live streams. But it was definitely necessary in order for me to get to a place where I was ready. But I knew once I hopped on and did a live stream that the energy as we connected with each other was going to boost me up. We're also going to be doing a Patreon call for all of you who are on the Patreon at 2 p.m. So I'll be hopping off of here and I'll be going on to Patreon. And anybody who wants to join the Patreon, we do bi-weekly live calls where we do a guided meditation, some type of energy activation. We talk about the energies. Sometimes I do personalized readings and stuff on there. It's sort of the precursor to the membership that I am still in the process of creating. Like I said, procrastination is something that I've realized is a really big deal for me when it comes to making these big moves that are really important. I don't know if anybody can relate to that. And there's always fear behind that. So that's sort of what I'm looking at and working through right now. And what's really becoming clear to me as we're moving through this eclipse, because remember, when we're working with these Libra energies, we're not just working with our relationship with others. We're working on our relationship and understanding more deeply our relationship with ourselves and all the different ins and outs of that Capricorn point. And so there's an energy there of working with my own autonomy and the ways that I do or don't feel and act autonomously and in my own best interest sometimes. And I'm sure there's somebody on here that can relate to that feeling and that energy. Oh, wow. Yeah, Ty's even feeling heavy. Ty, you're always really cruising it. So that shows us, I mean, there are a lot of heavy energies in the world right now. And we do also have a lot of energy that is extracting that. But in that process, I mean, it's not a gentle process as these inversions are being removed from our reality and more truth is coming forward. And this is also connected once again to Pluto and Capricorn at that 29th degree, that truth being revealed. And this is the climax for that Pluto in Capricorn energy here, right? So we're seeing a lot of truth come out as we're leading forward toward November here in the United States. Clearly, this is a very big time within this country and within the world. And so this moon is right on time, revealing those secrets to those who are willing and able to see, right? Like all the information is right there in a way that it has never really been right there before. But it's like, are you open to viewing it? Are you open to seeing it? So remember, this eclipse in Libra is at 10 degrees of Libra conjunct Porima, the star of prophecy. And in the video that I did on YouTube, for anyone on TikTok, check it out on YouTube. I talked about some of the prophecies that I was feeling for this, but what I overlooked was the Nostradamus prophecies. And so I'm going to dig more deeply into those. Rising Phoenix Aurora, my mentor, she channels Nostradamus. She's also been looking into some of the writings and the information that Dolores Cannon had about Nostradamus as well and stumbled upon. And so there's a lot within his prophecies that I think is worth looking over and reviewing as we're moving through, as well as, of course, the Hopi prophecies that I mentioned in the video. I also mentioned the book of Revelations and some of the prophecies and energy in there as well. So there's a lot going on right now. There's a lot that is coming to a climax, a big reveal. And we're really, I mean, this is the climax of 2024. 2024 is the quantum leap year through realities, aligning us with that highest timeline. And so the group meditation that we're going to do today is going to be all about aligning the earth with her highest timeline. And as we align with the earth, we naturally align with our own highest timeline as well. Hello, Carrie. I'm so happy to see you on here. Love you so much. So happy to have your beautiful energy in here supporting this live stream. Hello, Kaluna. Hello, Celtic Thistle. Hello, Amber. Hello, Christine. Hello, and hello to whoever's still watching on TikTok. There's so many people hop on and off on TikTok. It's hard to say who's actually on here right now, but hello to whoever is. It's great to see you all as well. I haven't been very active on TikTok lately. And I do apologize for that. It's always like where we're going to invest our energy and having to figure that out. That's been a big theme as we've been moving through eclipse season, through Virgo season, into Libra season here, is where and how we're investing our energy. So I wanted to, before we did the group meditation, I want to make sure we have time to do this because group meditations are so powerful. And there was a point in time where I got caught up a little bit in the misinformation. You know, there are people who say that mass meditations are not a good thing because these darker entities and energies latch on to that energy and use it for their own nefarious purposes. That's not true. That's just misinformation that's being spread to prevent us from actually getting together and doing mass meditations, because the energy is so powerful when you do this. Just think one light, how that one light amplifies when it connects to 1,000 lights, to 1,000,000 lights. I mean, there's even been studies done around this that show like decreases in crime and different things like that in areas where people are doing these mass meditations or focusing their energy. So this is really, really big. And I want to be doing this more as we continue to move forward here. Really from now on, I think it's a really, really powerful thing. I want to thank Michael, our beautiful tribe member, who's also a member of the Patreon. During one of our live calls, we were talking about this and the importance of this and the power of this. So I'm really looking forward to being able to share some of that energy with you guys and just see what we can create and bring into fruition here. What highest timelines? And I wanted to do, like I said, just a little reading. We want to talk about, and I'm going to start, I might use this deck. I don't know. We might use a bunch of different decks here. I want to talk about this clear. This Libra eclipse, this star of prophecy, and this powerful energy as we're moving through clear and completing this quantum leap through consciousness. Any guidance around aligning with that highest timeline? Any guidance around these prophecies, perhaps? If we can get a little dig into this a little bit. See what's going on here. So let's see, Spirit. Beautiful, benevolent Spirit. Please share with us what we need to know at this time. All right, so we have the Ace of Swords. This is the truth. This is the clarity coming through here. All right. This is what we talked about with the secrets being revealed. This is also the energy of speaking our truth, the importance of speaking our truth. All right. We have the Knight of Coins. This is slow, steady progress. Toward our goals. A lot of clarity, I think, for people surrounding. Like we said, this is all, once again, about where we place our energy. All right. Getting clarity around that, around what is most important to us. We have the Knight of Swords coming through too. So I'm feeling this as like where we at one time we're moving forward very slowly. It's like there's truth coming through that's going to speed up that process. And this could be in relation to our own ascension process, right? Where this truth, this clarity begins to come through. And where we were slowly sort of moving along, all of a sudden, it's like there's a fire lit under our ass, is what that feels like. And we're moving forward much more powerfully. It's like some wind finally under the sails is what that feels like. We have the King of Swords and the Eight of Cups here. And that's Saturn and Pisces. And that's the energy that we're in right now with Saturn. Saturn currently in a grand air trine with Mars in Cancer and somebody else. Who else is part of that? Great air trine, grand water trine. Sorry, Mars in Cancer, and I don't have my chart up right now. I'm spacing on what the other one is, but there's 3 planets in water signs right now who are creating this beautiful grand water trine that's supporting us in this emotional catharsis. But with the King of Swords, this is once again about the clarity. It's about being mentally clear and proceeding as a result of that clarity. So the choices and decisions to walk away from that which, with this Pisces energy here, that which is illusory, that which is not real or misrepresented. So this is like the illusions, the secrets, all of that energy. It's like that veil being lifted and walking away from things. And for some people, it's like walking away from the known into the unknown. Like these cups down here, they represent all of the bounty, right? All of what we've collected and created. But in order to have more, to experience more, we have to walk. It's sort of like leaving the security for the unknown. And it's the mirror is making this backwards, so it's hard. I was trying to trace the cups there, but it's like my view of myself is off. There we go. Right, that's what I was trying to do. It's really confusing to the brain right now. Let's see. Yeah, here it's easier with the way my phone camera is on TikTok to do that, but not on this with the computer camera here. But you guys know what I'm saying. So it's like the path that was assured, but was not really in alignment with the truth of our souls, and then the path that we're getting ready to walk, the path of the moon, the path of the unconscious. Some people, this is about clarity and truth coming through in dreams, and this would be that energy of prophecy, right? We talked about in the solar eclipse video how people's gifts of prophecy were going to be activating around this time. and how people were going to begin to be receiving these visions, these dreams, these downloads of the future. Got the Three of Swords on the bottom of the deck here. And just remember, for everybody who is feeling heavy right now, this is just what happens. I mean, during eclipses, they're intense. I cried for, I think, at least a solid hour during the Pisces lunar eclipse a few weeks ago. It was just all this emotion and all this sadness that I didn't even know was still living in me came up to the surface. All right. So it's normal. I think we want eclipses to feel like magical all the time, right? We think that if we're not feeling good, it means that we're out of alignment or something. That's not true. It's we feel what we need to feel. And I think a lot of us are empaths, so we're picking up on that collective heaviness as well. Because the collective is, when we're talking about these truths being revealed, there's a large percentage of the collective who has no idea what's going on. All right, they're blindly following, like, you know, the carrot that's being dangled. They still believe that the world and what's presented to them at face value is the truth, right? And so there's a lot of disenchantment as more of these secrets come out. It's like, it's going to be a lot for people to process. All right. And I was feeling this one of two ways. I was feeling as though one thing that's possible here is that there's going to be some sort of event or some sort of truth that comes out that's so staggering that people can't ignore it. And like, I was like, man, I really hope that's not what happens. Just because like, that's like the kind of truth that's going to have to be, that can't be suppressed by the legacy, mainstream, corporate, whatever you want to call the media, the mass media, right? That can't be spun by them, that they can't bury. Something that big, like, I don't really want to think about what that would be. That was one of the things that I was thinking of lately, as far as like what might happen, because I feel like there's a big wake up call still coming, right? We've had a lot of these mini wake up calls, and like I said, we're going to get into this way more on Rumble, and definitely, if you haven't followed me on there, I'm going to be. That's where, like I said, I'm going to be dropping the majority of my videos probably over the next month or so. I'll still be doing the energy updates on here, but there's a lot that we're going to talk about on there. All right. But that was one of the things that I was feeling. The other is just that this, and hello, Voluvia, my beautiful, beautiful Nikki. She's joined us as well. We have some beautiful space holders, Annika as well, in the chat right now. So I love that for us on YouTube, holding that space for us all. The other was just that as Durga, this asteroid, the second moon that we have orbiting the Earth right now, who is here to ensure that highest timeline, that she just keeps pulling out the inversions, transmuting that energy for us, and people just wake up on their own and start paying attention to all of the truth that's being revealed really everywhere that you look. That's not the mainstream legacy media, right? If you look anywhere else these days, it's everywhere. So I'm hoping that second path is the path that's going to come to pass. But we shall see, right? We shall see. Yes, Venus and Scorpio, Carrie says. Is that your natal Venus, Carrie? I can't remember. Or is that just you're commenting on the intensity of Venus and Scorpio right now? Any planet is intense in Scorpio. Venus is one of our personal planets. So it's particularly intense when we have Venus in that transit, especially when we also have this current eclipse going on with Venus sitting on the edges of that huge stellium in Libra that includes, at that exact 10-degree point, Black Moon, Lilith, the Moon, and the Sun conjunct that star Parima. And then we also have Mercury and the South Node and Juno within the sign of Libra. So there's a lot going on that, and thank you, Carrie. This Venus and Scorpio, that was the other, the grand water trine that I was trying to remember, the last planet. Maybe that's what, maybe you assisted me in that when you made that comment. I was trying to remember what the last one was. Yes, it's Venus and Scorpio, Mars in Cancer, and then Saturn in Pisces. Let's talk about that later. Carrie. Oh my God, I can't wait to see you soon. I'm looking forward to that. All right, so we have, what is this? Six of Pentacles and the Queen of Swords. So a lot of swords action. And this makes sense where we are so much within our mind space right now. There's so much within, so much information that's coming to light. Swords also, really the majority of the swords cards in the tarot represent like challenging energies and circumstances, right? There's a certain level of intensity there. I mean, there's intensity in, of course, fire energy as well, and of course, and obviously water. But like with there, it's those. There's not nearly as many positive cards in the swords, the suite of swords as there are in the other ones. I guess is where I'm trying to go with that. So it makes a lot of sense what we're getting, but we're getting a lot of empowering swords cards here. Right? We got the Ace of Swords. We've got the Knight, the King, the Queen. All right. So these are not the disempowered. It's not the Eight of Swords, the Seven of Swords type energy, or Nine of Swords, 10 of Swords. This is us stepping into our mental empowerment. Remember, the only thing that controls us, or the only, how do I want to put this? Like when we take back control of our minds, these lower energies have no control over us. We create the dominant reality. All right. So when we stop believing the information that we're being spoon-fed and we start to think for ourselves, when we release ourselves from the control of the matrix, then we have license, then we have the ability to create a brand new reality. The reason we're fed the information or the misinformation, and we are fed these certain viewpoints, and the reason that all of this programming exists is to keep us creating something that is ultimately working against us, a reality that is working against us. So this is our time to really step into, we got the King of Cups here, creating the reality that we want to see, that we want to experience. And I'm actually just gonna, that's not really working on TikTok. I'm going to close out on live stream. Its energy was distracting, honestly. I'll just bring up the eclipse chart so I can look at it while we're talking instead. All right. I love the YouTube. You guys are my tribe. I love you. You know, that energy is so chaotic there. You know what I mean? So we're right here. So this is the emotional mastery. And this is what Spirit is saying is really important right now. There's so much that's coming out, so much information being thrown at us. Like it's important overall to stay in our hearts and to not get so emotionally, especially with that Venus and Scorpio energy, not to get so emotionally clouded. And this has been the issue. This has been a big part of the issue is, we've allowed our emotions as a society in many ways to overcome our logic and common sense. So this is like information and truth and clarity coming through that overrides this emotionally triggered response and this emotional conditioning and brings us back into a state where we're able to use critical minds. All right. Critical thinking is not a lot of times in the spiritual community. It's like, because we're so much about being in arts, right? And love, light, and all of this, people think that means that we suspend our critical thinking abilities, right? And the mind is just always the enemy. No, being able to think critically is a good thing. And that means to think without bias, or at least with as little bias as possible, to be able to weigh different information. So in all of this, we want to stay steady in our emotions. And the other thing that Spirit's reminding me right now, when we're talking about how these forces and energies cause us to create this dystopian reality, right? This dark inverted reality, is also by controlling our emotions and then feeding us the information and the stories and the sound bites that tug at those emotions. And with Mars and Cancer, people are going to be prone to emotional reactivity. All right. So we want to be stabilized. We want to stabilize ourselves in our emotions And we want to connect with our hearts. There's a difference between being connected within your heart and allowing yourself to be on an emotional roller coaster. And the world right now can definitely, like, if we allow it, that it will take us on a roller coaster ride through our emotions. All right. So it's about being centered, connecting with the breath, and being open. What else do we have here? And the King of Pentacles. Wow, we got like all the kings coming out here, you guys. So this is us really standing and stabilized, strong in our energy. The intuition is refined by critical thinking. I like that, Joe. Yeah. And we can also think critically about something and then employ our intuition to lead us toward the ultimate truth within that, right? So they work together. They support each other. Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, we all ruminate to a certain extent. It's definitely challenging not to sometimes, right? And this this live stream is so hard because there's so much that I want to say right now, but it's like I don't it's so difficult to know what you can say on here without it's stupid, right? This type of censorship and these worries that have really come into fruition, right, over the past few years, that weren't really issues to this extent before. This is the kind of stuff that we are hopefully going to be voting out, right? So to speak, for those of us who are American and in other governments as well, because there's been a lot of major changes in government, a lot of like the whole world is shifting, you guys. I know the most about my own little corner of the world, but the whole world is shifting right now. So hopefully, I think the fact that we need to be on certain platforms in order to be able to speak freely kind of says it all right there, right? About the current regime and the current energy. We are the creator. That's right. Love you so much. Essenes. Oh, is that a play on Essenes there? I like what you did there. Mm-hmm. All right, what else can we get here? So there's a lot of stepping into our authority with all of these kings coming out here. And then we got the 10 of Cups. So that's beautiful. I want to pull some guidance for us. Oh, interesting. I'm being called to use the enchanted map. I haven't used this in a long time. I do, yes, Essenes. Clear. I love that, Ty. Yeah, bringing it back to the self. Knowing that you're moving forward, you're growing and evolving in your corner of the world, and knowing that shines the light out. As within, so without. Exactly. Yeah. All right, let's get a couple cards from the Enchanted Map Oracle. And then we're going to do a meditation together. Anything you want us to know as we're navigating these next couple months? Remember, this eclipse, the effects we're going to be feeling for 6 months, if not more. Honestly, the last eclipse in this cycle of eclipses that we're having right now is going to be in March of 2025. And then 6 months or so from that. Some say it's actually a full year that a solar eclipse we feel the energies of. So definitely through 2025, probably into 2026, we're going to be seeing some of these energies playing out. And we are revising the templates, creating and seeding those new templates for relationship, those new templates for connection and governance as well. With that 29-degree Capricorn Pluto, with even Libra, which represents one of the things Libra energies represents is peace and war, right? And the balance of that diplomacy. So there's a lot that we are rewriting right now, a lot of old templates and old energies that we are shedding with that South Node in Libra energy here. So we have rescue coming out. Well, I got to get used to this camera again. Doing this on my laptop here. Okay. We have the bone collector, which is all about our ancestors. We have moonlight, peaks of joy, and rock bottom. Interesting. So there's a contrasting energy, right? The peaks of joy and the rock bottom. So let's feel into this. So this rescue card feeds right into these energies that we've been clearing surrounding the age of Pisces, right? And also with the Pisces lunar eclipse. And that we're continuing with our relation templates as well, right? We talked about this energy of the victim, the perpetrator, and the rescuer, and how that's an old paradigm that we're moving out of, that we're releasing, and how some people may be feeling that energy and seeing those cycles playing out in their lives. But then we also have this energy of, I feel like this is, it feels like that new earth energy though, but we are the ones rescuing ourselves, right? We are the Knight of Swords, our own knight in shining armor. We got two knights here when we first started this reading. And this rainbow here feels really relevant to me. I don't know how many of you have seen it lately. And I feel like it is connected to Durga, to our second moon right now, that beautiful asteroid that's eradicating the artificial and aligning us with our highest timeline. So I saw this gorgeous rainbow the other day. It was, well, yesterday, literally speaking of the other day, yesterday. So I was driving with a friend of mine, and we were talking about everything that's going on right now. We're talking about the election, all of that. And I just said, I just pray that we remained aligned with this highest timeline for humanity's ascension. And as soon as I said that, I noticed this rainbow. There were these beautiful clouds, and they were making these crazy wisps through the sky. It almost looked like a giant wing. And within the wing, there was this gorgeous rainbow. And I've never seen a rainbow that looked like this. And it didn't have a beginning and an end. It was just within the clouds. And it was almost the way the sun was positioned. It was almost like, because there was no rain that day, the rainbow was being created by the sun. And it was reflecting through the clouds. And it was like this beautiful crystalline rainbow of the purest, brightest colors. And somebody in a chat that I'm a part of from a trip that I took shared a similar photo that they had taken of the way the sun's light was reflected through the clouds and creating this giant rainbow. So it's like these rainbows, these signs are everywhere. But it's not about us being rescued. It's about humanity becoming empowered enough to rescue themselves. And it's about this new earth energy that we are creating, and all the beautiful beings that are assisting us in being our own rescuers. And I also feel like there's a message here for some people going through difficult situations right now. And the message is simply that that energy is coming to a close. Like there may be a rock bottom coming for some, or some may be feeling themselves at that rock bottom right now, but there is something new being born from that. And if you have been praying and connecting with your spiritual team, like that energy has been heard and your prayers are being answered. Just remember, eclipse season answers them in the most direct way possible through the reorganization of our lives and the realignment with that highest timeline, with that organic blueprint for your soul's evolution within this journey. You've seen the rainbow clouds too. I love that. And I've seen too, I don't know if you guys have noticed, I don't remember this as much when I was a child, of any time this summer when my son turned on the hose and was spraying the water, there's instantly rainbows everywhere. And I don't necessarily remember rainbows. It's like you see them everywhere, and the water looked like diamonds and crystals. Like you can see the crystalline quality of the air, of the clouds, of the water. It's so incredibly beautiful. It's so incredibly beautiful. So it's like we can see the evidence of this all around us. And these rainbows that we're seeing lately, I mean, they are just, They're truly magical, right? Because they're not being created by the rain, they're being created by the sun, right? And by this beautiful organic crystalline atmosphere around us. It's just, if you look, it's everywhere. All right, the beauty is everywhere. Yep, Ty, you caught some rainbows too, right? The rainbow represents, when we talk about, there's a card in the, what is it? The one of the old school decks that we used to use on here all the time, the light workers oracle or something like that, I think it was called, right here. Yeah, the light worker oracle. There's a card that talks about the ascension bridge, the rainbow bridge, and the rainbow light body, right? Not to mention the rainbow children that are incarnating right now. So this rainbow energy is a reflection of the energy of ascension and the fact that we are ascending. All right. It's interesting. I just saw, and I was thinking of, they say sometimes you can see, when you see the blue ring around the eyes, that's one of the signs of the ascension as well. And I was just thinking that we're going to start seeing almost like rainbow energy around the eyes, around the pupils. It's like the blue is the beginning of that. So that's fucking wild, right? Rainbow around the sun as we speak, Brianna says. Beautiful. What do you say about us souls who gave us big challenges in making relations with friends, expressing yourself, shame wounds? Which wounds? I'm not sure that I fully understand the question, Scenes. I mean, I think that we took on the challenges that were necessary for our soul's growth. And the reason we come to Earth is because it's a growth process, because of the challenges of being in this dimension. I also think that as we move into Neptune in Aries, there's going to be a huge shift in the energy of the healer's wound, which I think is what you're referring to with the witch wound, right? Which is this wound of persecution. Something that I was shown also by Yeshua is that the crucifixion and all of that energy and that experience was a big part of the healer's wound. That energy, a lot of us, we can trace some of the origins of that energy to that experience, and other, of course, similar experiences that we had as individuals. But that was like the larger experience that was symbolic of that experience, was the crucifixion of Yeshua. And that is a wound that we're clearing by stepping into our empowerment. That is, I have a healing that I did on that's available for people who want to start releasing some of that energy around the healer's wound. We're probably going to do an updated version of that as we move into Neptune and Aries at the beginning of the year. Oh, Jamie, what do you got for us with the rainbows? Okay. All right. Yeah. Let me know. I want to hear all about it. So many synchronicities with the rainbows. Yep. Yep. Ty says rainbows for morning sun rays and moisture. Yeah. The rainbow I saw was in the afternoon heading into the evening time. Yeah, and it was not, I mean, there might have been some moisture in the air in the beginning, but it was not super. I mean, it's fall time, so I guess where we live there is a general amount of moisture, but it felt like it was, I mean, it was magical. And it was the answer to my question, right? Because I had been talking about being aligned with that highest timeline. And then the rainbow appeared. So it was really, really magical. And of course, when I was talking about alignment with that highest timeline, I was also talking about the election that we have in the United States, the importance of that, the importance of removing this cabal, this shadow government who is currently controlling our country and has been controlling our country for eons, right? All the time I've been alive, except for a small window of time between 2016 and 2020. So seeing that confirmation with that rainbow was beautiful. Was beautiful. And like I said, we're going to talk about more of that stuff and get more blunt and really review some of the information and the channelings on Rumble. But it was a beautiful confirmation for me of like, we are on the right path. We are aligned. We are taking them down. You know what I mean? This is their last hurrah. We have a chance to begin the process of freeing ourselves from that energy. If we can see through the veils of illusion and recognize who is who and what is what. I think a lot of people are doing that. The rainbow always comes after the storm. That's right. I've been listening to Rainbow. Is that the song that I've been listening to? I never fully know. Because I just upload them all from Spotify. Yes, that's the one. I've been listening to that song all the time too. I love that. I love that. I didn't even make that connection. That's one of the most frequently my playlist right now is Rainbow by Cage the Elephant. So I love that we're definitely aligned in that. Yeah. Hello, Ashley Rose. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, yeah, it's a good song. I would play it right now, but I don't know if it would be a copyright violation. Like, God only knows. So we've got that. We've got this energy of just staying in alignment, continuing in that path of alignment, in that highest timeline. Let me see what the bone collector. I'm feeling this is energy from us being supported by our ancestors. This is about inner resourcefulness as well. About worthiness. The bone collector reminds you that the truth is that you are a powerful being with limitless possibilities. So this is about stepping back into that energy of infinite possibility. Tapping into the quantum realm, the quantum world, into the different versions of you. And this is something that is really because of where we're at within this process of ascension right now, we are able to tap into the multidimensionality of who we are so powerfully, and not just like when we're having an eclipse or when we're having a portal or what have you, all the time. That energy, that wisdom, that knowledge, those soul gifts, all of that is so much more accessible to us. We can shift through those timelines so easily and fluently and gather everything that we need. We have all the resources that we need. Some version of us has all the resources, all the wisdom, all the knowledge that we need. So it's just tapping into that version of us, if that makes sense. And then the moonlight, that's the significances of these eclipses, these full and new moons, these powerful portals. It's interesting that the owl is here too. So I had a really interesting encounter with an owl recently, and I was just talking to my friend about it last night. And what's crazy is that the owl in this picture looks very similar to the owl that I had a encounter with. And what's interesting too is that the owl was called the barred owl, not the barn, but the barred, Barred. They look like tigers almost. They have these incredible tiger stripes and these big dark eyes. And I had this incredible connection with this barred owl a couple months ago, where it was staring right into my soul. And I swear I received an energy activation from this owl. And I understood in that moment why it is that owls are connected with extraterrestrial energy, because this creature literally felt otherworldly. It was so powerful. And then my friend was showing me last night that apparently the environmental conservation or people that are in charge, and maybe it's not the conservationists, maybe it's the people that are in charge of the forestry. I don't know. You'll have to look it up for yourself for all the minor details, but they have this program to kill off. It's something like 475,000 of these owls over the next 30 years because they're expanding their habitat due to us infringing upon their natural habitats. And now the snowy owl, which is protected, legally protected, is being like their populations are dwindling because of these barred owl populations. So they're killing off these owls. And I don't know, it was just kind of crazy. I was like, that's so weird. Like those, like, I don't know that there's a connection with these owls being so spiritually powerful, right? You know, when you notice how much untruth and how much nefarious behavior there is in the world, sometimes you just see it everywhere, right? But it definitely saddened me because that was so powerful. So there's a connection with the owl. There's a connection with the nocturnal world here. There's the connection with the moonlight and our inner wisdom being activated. And isn't this funny? We're talking about the second moon. So we have the moonlight card coming out, which of course is an asteroid, but there's something here. There's something big here with that moon and what it's doing. See, there's an hourglass here too. It's like, can you guys see that? Like, you'll have to look, because like I said, it's my right and left is so thrown off with this camera here. Like time's running out, or there's something that's on a time frame right now. What are you trying to tell us? Let's get a couple of these here. I want to see. What is this timing, this importance with timing here? Because remember, time's an illusion in other realms, but in this particular realm, time is very real, right? Time and space are part of the functions that govern this dimension. Clear. Tell me, what is this energy with the timing? Tell me more about this. Oh, divine time. This is about divine timing. This is about divine timing coming close. Like we've been waiting for, they always say in divine time. That divine time is coming, is drawing near. That's what this is about. Because then we have what? We have peaks of joy plus rock bottom, right? So interesting. Peaks of joy is number 33. So Spirit is saying, for those of us who've been waiting and waiting on something, right? On this divine timing, that that time is drawing near. And there's great joy to be found. This is the card of the number of the Ascended Masters, right? 33. And it's saying, even with rock bottom, right? You see how there's a path below and there's a path above? Those of you who are at this rock bottom right now, just know and understand that that's leading you deeper into your joy as well. Like we said, eclipse time is all about divine recalibration and realignment here. And there's something here about the energy of like the intensity of the joy and the intensity of the pain and the sorrow. It's like these extremes of life, these extremes of this experience, and how we need to not run from either one, to embrace both with open arms and know that they create this tapestry of experience that we came here to have. But don't get caught up in either one. What Spirit's saying is everything is fleeting, right? Coming back to the timing energy, right? This too shall pass. The good, the bad, the ugly, the beautiful, and everything in between. It is all transient. The only thing that is not transient is your soul energy. Your soul is divine, it is infinite. Everything else is but a fleeting moment. Yeah, owls are powerful, Molly. I'd never really seen an owl in person. I know that sounds crazy, but I really hadn't. That was the first owl that I had ever really seen. It was, I mean, I'm telling you, that owl was staring into my soul, and it was like I got shivers and chills all over my body. And then we have, of course, metamorphosis. All right. With that beautiful flamingo energy there. Yes, so allow yourself to go through the peaks and valleys of this experience, but don't get stuck in either one. Don't get caught up on either one, right? Don't get attached to the pleasure or the pain. Clear. Just allow life to flow through you. Allow this experience to flow through you. Clear. And remember, you are the one who is here to rescue you. We have a lot of support right now in the unseen realms. So much support in the unseen realms right now. But we are the boots on the ground. We are the ascended masters, the extraterrestrials in human form. All right, the gods and goddesses, the archangels, we are them. All right, they're there to support us. Our higher selves are there to support us. But we are them here, incarnated in this reality. We are the ones that are going to save us. I like that. Blah, blah says, Bone Collector reminds me of Kali burning away to create change. Yes. And that's a major energy of Durga when we're talking about the asteroid, right? The asteroid that's been pulled into our orbit. The second moon is the energy. Durga has a very similar energy to Kala or Kali. So interesting, I called her Kala. I want to look at, hold on here. Because I looked this up briefly because I wanted to see what this has to say. Durga represents invincibility, protection, truth, and self-realization, the destroyer of evil, the mother of the Hindu universe, and the combined energy. Oh, this says of the male gods, which is interesting. Rising Phoenix Aurora was feeling her as a combined energy of the divine feminine, the mother of all creation. Clear. But yeah, it's a very Kali kind of an energy. Removing the inversions, stripping away all the inversions and the falsities. I love this. There's something powerful about this card. It's a dove, not an owl here. But it's like the pentacles here almost look like eyes surrounding her, right? This has that prophecy energy that we were talking about. And the brooch on the throat, right? Really emphasizing that throat chakra, the voice. This also speaks to nourishing our hope. Or even better, our faith, right? Because hope is when we wish for something, but we don't really know if it's actually going to come true. We're kind of giving our power away when we hope. When we believe, when we have faith, right? That's powerful. Oh, it's so interesting. So this is making me think of the prophecy, right? The moon of prophecy, right? Conjunct Purima, the star of prophecy right now. And that bird is reminding me of like a message that this prophet is sent to communicate. And we have, what is this? This is the 9 of Pentacles, right? So we have 9 pentacles here. 10 if we count the one on the throat. I don't know if this is 9 prophecies. I don't know if this is 9, something with the number 9 here. 9 also, of course, represents closures, endings, mastery, especially with Venus and the Virgo energy here. This is really interesting. This is like a message of hope being sent to humanity. Interesting. Yeah. This is the message of hope, is what I'm getting right now. The message of faith, to stand strong, to have faith in the good, to have faith in the knowing that we will prevail, that truth, that justice, that integrity, which is what Libra energy is all about, right? will prevail, that the truth shall be known and acted upon. This is standing in our sovereignty, standing in our light. Continuing to nurture the soul flame within. I think this is a great sort of lead into to whatever the guided meditation is that we're going to be doing here. Oh, interesting. Carrie says she always sees 9 as communication. I'm definitely feeling it in this card. Right? Those messages of hope are all around us. Those messages of faith, that's what they're saying. That's what the rainbows are. It's that hope. It's that faith, right? It's when we see enough messages of hope, it begins to crystallize into faith. And that faith is what we need in order to keep going. In order to continue to uphold that highest timeline. That faith and that ability to take inspired action and to trust the intuition coming through, even if we don't understand it completely. To be able to recognize, it just popped right back out again. To be able to recognize that truth when it speaks to us, when it whispers to us through the voice of our intuition, and to act upon it in integrity. Spirit's saying, like, the message here today was like, let go of your preconceived notions. Let go of really the emotions and the rationalization. Let all that disappear. Connect in with your heart and walk in the direction that your heart leads you. Because your heart will never lead you astray. Doesn't matter if you don't understand why something is. You don't have to understand why. But you know what you know, and you know it for a reason. So when you know it, when you truly know it in your heart of hearts, even if you don't understand it, even if it contradicts everything that you think you believe, act upon that knowing. That is what is necessary from each and every single one of us to bring us through into this next era for humanity. All right. Remember, we live in an inverted reality right now. Clear. Things are typically the opposite of what they appear, and a lot of times they don't make a whole lot of sense to our human minds. The divine works in complex and complicated ways, far beyond our pay grade, far beyond our level of perception. So trust what you feel, trust what you are knowing, and don't try to make it all make sense. All right. Okay, so let's all get nice and comfortable here. We're going to allow Spirit to just take us on a journey, take us on a meditation together. Calling in all of the beautiful benevolence who wish to assist us today. Dropping in together into our heart space. Breathing into that heart space. Connecting our hearts in a beautiful grid of light. With one unified intention. That the highest timeline for humanity's ascension come to pass, and that our hearts communicate to us very clearly in perfect divine timing all we need to know and understand in order to play the next role that we are meant to play in that process. That we be guided by that beautiful universal love, light, energy. by our own beautiful divine knowing, and that this highest and most organic timeline for humanity's ascension comes to fruition, comes to pass, holding that intention within. Releasing all fear, releasing all judgment, releasing the need to know and the need to understand. Releasing all the old dysfunctional ways of relating with each other, with the world, with ourselves and our reality. Now drawing in hope, clarity, love, understanding, compassion, tolerance. Drawing in that gift of intuition, the gift of prophecy. Now I want everyone to imagine as you sit, connecting through your beautiful heart space to this beautiful grid of light workers, star seeds, to this beautiful grid of the earth herself. I want you to imagine that you are encased in the most beautiful, brilliant, glowing Merkaba, knowing that this is your spiritual protection. Imagine these two pyramids intersecting around your body, creating a beautiful 8-pointed star, taking in energy, releasing energy, keeping you perfectly protected. I want you to feel this Merkaba filling up with the most beautiful healing energy. Exactly what is needed and necessary for your highest healing at this time, in perfect, beautiful benevolence. Feeling the energy washing over you, washing you clean, clearing away anything that no longer serves, feeling it instantly transmuted and return to source. I want you to imagine that you and your beautiful Merkaba, this beautiful 8-pointed star, that you are connected in a beautiful grid of light, Imagine this grid spanning over the earth. All of these beautiful lights in their beautiful sovereignty, connected, glowing. I want you to feel benevolence, love light energy that connects this grid of light. Feel this beautiful benevolent energy gently dissolving away fear, doubt, judgment, self-judgment, judgment of one another. Feel this light, your own soul's light, growing brighter and brighter within you, and feel as your soul's light begins to expand, rippling out throughout this beautiful planet, throughout the multiverse. Your soul's light that is part of, that is connected with the divine cosmic heart, with the divine cosmic mind, the beautiful divine mother, father, source creator. Feel yourself bathed in this light and feel as this light spreads across the entire planet, throughout the entire multiverse. Feel yourself, feel the planet, feel the multiverse charged with this beautiful light. Hold within your heart an intention for the manifestation of the highest, most organic timeline for ascension. Now set the intention to send a ripple of light, a ripple, a wave of fire throughout this planet, throughout the multiverse. Allow yourself to be connected to this beautiful alchemical flame, this brilliant multicolored alchemical flame, and feel as it flows through you, as it flows out through the multiverse, cleansing, clearing, purifying, removing the inversions. Burning away all that is artificial, all that is not real. Imagine the earth in all of her beautiful crystalline glory, sparkling, shining, like a beautiful crystalline orb of light. Know that we have the power to bring this beautiful crystalline earth, this beautiful organic earth, these beautiful organic timelines to fruition through our love, through our intention, through the joining together of our hearts. Feel as your heart space lights up, and remember, recognize your heart space as that portal to the fifth dimension. Feel as it connects with the elevated heart space of all of those present in this meditation right now, and all those present within their hearts throughout the multiverse, and see the grid that is connected by our hearts. Feel into the energy of that. Feel the power of that. Breathe in all of those beautiful light codes. Breathe in all the healing that your higher self has to offer you now. Know that you can connect to this beautiful grid of light anytime you wish. Set those intentions, those highest intentions for humanity into the gridding, into this grid of light. And water those seeds moving forward through your thoughts, your actions, through living in love, in integrity, in beauty, in peace. Breathe the energy deep into your being. Feel it beginning to integrate as you begin wiggling your fingers and your toes, moving your body around. I love you so much. I honor each and every one of you. I respect you. We have the power. We are, as somebody said in the chat today, we are the creators of this reality. And we're taking that power back. Set aside some time every day to visualize and connect with the beauty of what we're creating. Be aware of everything that's coming out, of everything that's being revealed. For a lot of us, it's like what we've already known, right? We're just seeing it finally come to pass. Right? Be aware, but make sure that you focus the bulk of your energy and your emotion towards what it is that we're creating. Right? Happy eclipse, everybody. I'll see some of you on Patreon in a few minutes here. I'm going to take a quick break before I hop on there, and hopefully I'll see some of you on Rumble as we begin digging into some of these topics in a free speech platform. I'll still be on here doing the energy updates, talking about the astrology and all that good stuff, but we'll be on there talking about some other stuff too for those who wish to join us moving forward. All right. I love you so much.